Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying Walker Air Transport, one of the virtual airlines that I often fly for, and we're going to be flying the PMDG B737-800, and we'll be flying from Copenhagen down to Eindhoven. For what reason, I'm not sure. I just thought it would be a fun airport pairing. So no real life connection or similar, though there is, I guess, one real life connection in the sense that I recently flew up from 2 days ago. I flew up from Copenhagen and then we were parked here at the B7 gate, but that was with SAS Connect, to be correct in terms of the airline. So I think that's a subsidiary of SAS. So it's basically SAS, but SAS Connect is the Connect is the addition to the SAS. And we flew up from here, very late night flight. I think we left the gate at like 23 or 11 at night, and made our way to Stockholm. We even had to de-ice, if I'm not mistaken. I think we did it out one of these pads out here, which flight Tampa here at the nice airport rendition that they have created also have included. And this is actually one of my favorite airports in P3D. I mean, Flight Tampa really does some of the best airports. And they probably won't make any more for P3D, but if they do, I'm definitely buying that. I don't have all of them yet. Some I'm still missing, like Kaitak and Buffalo and Tampa. But I'm gonna get them at some point, that's for sure. Let me see, anything anything else to mention? I don't think there's anything else to mention. Gonna be a basic flight, passenger flight. We'll be using the Luke Air tool. I'm just gonna, or wait, let me see, actually maybe I can use Discord, because I sent some of the pictures when I was let me see if I can find where I put them though, because I did take a picture when I was here on the stand. Here we go. So here you can see, very similar to what we have here with the box here to the right. So that's yeah, B7 SAS Connect. We have another SAS, probably a Connect flight as well, to our left. And let me just close Discord so we save some of that important computer processing power. Sorry about that. Some coughing. But yeah, other than that, not that much else. It's early morning, so it's gonna be a bit of a night before, or night flight, I would say, an early morning flight. Nothing too special other than that. Doesn't look like there's too much traffic. Some airplanes, an A350 it looks like here, and then an A320. No, the really large ones here. I guess they have departed already. So let's jump in and Jesus, that was yeah, really bright, but yeah, let's get started. It was a while since I flew this nice PMDG 737. Let's see, it's always a hiccup when I do the ground power. I don't know why, I never had that before, but it just at some point it started. Let me see if there's something with the... I really don't know why it's so shiny in here. It could be, of course, the light from the dynamic light playing a trick on us. But yeah, beautiful cockpit as always, right, with the PMDG ones. But yeah, nothing else to... The only thing I'm wondering, do we have the airport, right? It's quite a specific one. And it could of course be that we don't have it saved. I don't seem to have that many here. Let me see, page down, up. I don't seem to have it, but do I have it on ChartFox? I was able to find a version of it, so I'm gonna save that. And at some point I'll bring it over to within the sim. We'll use ChartFox then for our charts this time around. Unfortunately. I should always check that before I start anything, but yeah, not always that I remember to do so. Yeah, this looks really odd with the light. I'm wondering what's causing it. Could be the jetway, I guess, but let's not speculate. I'll need to use this in order to see anti-collision wheel well lights. We can put those on. We can yeah, we can put the yaw dampener before we have put those to align, but that should work. In terms of the FS setup, or sorry, the FMC setup, we can open some of these doors already, and we can start to do the payload. I'm using my 777 FMC for this now, so let's get the right payload. I'm gonna open the PDF document. It's saying we should have a zero fuel of 127.6 and then a fuel weight, a block fuel weight of 13,600, which doesn't sound like a lot, to be honest, but okay, we can do that. I think with that queue we can also start the boarding, so I will open the GSX menu, request boarding. I'll also do the Luke Air tool, or I should have set it up. Let me see, is it on the right setup now? Commercial flight data imported, yeah, okay. We can choose maybe the right aircraft. You know, it's a Boeing make. Let me see some oddities going on here. So we can verify route. There's no model to use. We have 153 passengers. So we can go to next. I guess the model will be wrong, but I guess we could download the correct one. We'll just use that. So auto announcements, and we should have a Walker Air custom. Start passenger simulation. I'm still not sure about the steps. There's something here that I need to need to still know. Maybe it's the pushback thing. I haven't really understood that. So I think I'm connected to the sim. We don't need to change any settings. So we can do that. And I guess boarding. They can start the boarding. And I'll also start getting the passengers through GSX. So now we should be boarding the passengers, and we have GSX as well. Up and about. They're setting themselves up on the outside. We don't need to attach the... Is it the light down there somehow missing? Just me trying to do some... In terms of doing a walk around, we could use the walk around tool, but I'm just gonna have a quick look. I find this works ample. We can just move up a bit. I mean, generally speaking, that's pretty cool, seeing the external power like that. Can't of course remove it. But yeah, I mean, we won't find anything. Everything looks okay. I do have maintenance-based failures on, but I guess we wouldn't be able to see any cracks or similar. And our nice livery, and you can see the nice sky kind of just about seeping through the cloud layer. And you can even see they have some of the 3D model within the Copenhagen airport modeled, and that's as always very nice to see in P3D. Not all of it is modeled. I tried to swoop inside and see, but a bit of it. I think one way to show is by doing like this, and you'll notice, right, the interior, only kind of the most exterior part of the interior is modeled. But yeah, let's get going. We can do some of these tests. Just a general check that they seem to work. It's usually sufficient, at least from a flight sim perspective, right? I wouldn't be smart enough anyway to notice some of these. Now let's see if we do that. The window heats. I guess technically we could ask for de-icing. Let's see what they suggest. I would want to go out there to do the de-icing, but I'm not sure how that works with GSX. Like, is that the parking or not? Let's get the... Yeah, good question. Maybe we can keep this overview. In terms of the airport, we can just start by easily putting into place our position. We can thereafter fill in the FMC. It's being really slow with the buttons now. I must say, for paying 500 plus euros for an FMC, it's very... it should be smoother, to be honest. I like it otherwise, but that smoothness though isn't too nice. Yeah, that was basically just me asking them to prepare for boarding. Let's see when they do the welcoming thing. Cabin crew turned on, and we want to have those. Yeah, I'm still learning this Luke Air tool, so do bear with me. Might not be Might not be perfect. In terms of the runway we're taking off from, that's 04 right. So it's gonna be a bit of a taxi, nothing too crazy. Flight number is 396. Then departure will be, of course, that runway with the next. So we have the route. Then from Nexen we are doing T503. It's a relatively short flight, but it seems like we have a pretty long flight plan. Let's have a look at the altitude level. Looks okay, and it does. Jimru direct to Gab. Oh, sorry, me writing this. Gab and direct to Osn. And then a Zulu 718 via to Suvox. And actually the reason why I wanted to fly the 737-800 was because I saw a lot of these jet time 737s, and I guess that's like a wet leasing charter airline based in Copenhagen. I think they have gone bankrupt a couple of times, but they still seem to come back. So they are survivors. I'm hoping to do a flight with that livery at some point, but I thought I needed to do another virtual airline flight first. I like to mix it up a bit. Sometimes I just feel more like flying for these, because they do have the purpose of also, you know, being recorded, which is something we should do. Start our PyRep, fly this flight. Even though the schedule seems to be a bit off. Let's see that it's connecting. We're flying to Row Tech. And that is the arrival runway, which is 03 as well. And the question is, of course, which ILS we should take, which approach. But let me first import the flight plan to our lovely Pilot 280C version 3. Let's bring that up first of all. Make sure we have the right one, which we do seem to have. Just based on this, even though we should double check it, of course, but let's just hope it's correct. And what we'll need is, of course, the star that you do here on the approaches. So arrival for runway 3, and we have the row T E3. There's no transitions, so we can load that as the star, with the approach being X potentially. And the question is, how do you... So we're coming in from row tech. So maybe we can do rumor. And let me see how it will look if I activate the approach. Okay, and let's see with another one, just a direct in It is saying that we should go directly to EHEH, which I guess could be the case. Let me do the X1 without any trans to start off with. And I think we can check the plan and then do step by step, because I just want to make sure we get this one right. Is it certain that you have to go always directly to EHEH? Well, it does seem like that, but I guess you would be... I guess you would be vectored. But let me see if we can change. So if we do ILS-Y, we can do EHEH as an approach. And I'm looking at this one, sorry. So if I now close, activate approach, and let me see. Yeah, look at that. So this would make sense. So EHEH 578, voila. There we go. I'm gonna move this down, and then I am gonna add that as our arrival. So Y. And we're doing EHEH, and that means we should have a route without discontinuities, which we of course don't for some reason. Disk inserted after EHEH. Oh, is it because we're in step? Let me go back to map. Well, that's very interesting. Does it force that, or is that me? Well, we'll keep it as this, and then the discontinuity we can just follow. Oh, I'm starting to see why. The problem is, yeah, okay, I'm seeing why. We have a double set of, there we go. Activate, execute. And look at that. Seems like the light has shifted a bit. Not sure what's causing that, but interesting nevertheless. Yeah, so now we have the most important data, the legs page set up nicely. We can also, and actually I just realized we didn't put on our...
Welcome aboard this Walker Air Transport service. Please ensure to place your bags either in the overhead compartment or in the seat in front of you. And make sure to set your device to airplane mode. We should be on our way soon, so make sure to fasten your seatbelt and move your seat to its upright position. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. So we have the passengers. I think the boarding music is supposed to be playing. I might have though botched the settings a bit. Let me see if I can customize the audio. For example, the ambient one. Luckily, at least we can see the passengers boarding here through the gate, so that's pretty cool. Considering I myself locked those. I think we have ambient set. Let me see, view meters. Are we fine with that? We can do boarding complete soon, and then we'll have to do close doors. Still trying to figure out how this view flight logs, Wi-Fi toggle, divert aircraft, pushback map toggle. Okay, I'm gonna check that pushback map. Let's try to remember that, because I really want this Luke Air tool to work. So it is quite nice to use. Zero fuel weight was at 127.6. The reserve fuel, let's put it at 2.2. Cost index of 12. Always have a hard time flying because they or setting up with walkers. They have a different system for that. Okay, it's saying quite a high trip, but we're not gonna be flying at those altitudes. 32,000. Let's find out the cruise winds, which, if I remember correctly, are a bit further down. The question is where, though. Let's take off data. Let's see, flight plan released. Here we go, top of 030 at 46. That's fine. I guess we can execute that. And one limit. GSX wants us to close the doors, which I guess we can do. We have finished boarding. I'm gonna say that as well. I'll close all the doors now. And I was quick with the cargo ones. The forward entry is also closing. Let me go back to the FMC. The takeoff one is something we haven't set up. We'll do this with the help of our tool, our EFB. So we're doing 4 right. I think it seems to be dry, so that's good. In terms of landing information, let's have a look at what our flight plan says. Sorry, landing. Takeoff information is the one. So that's the en route forecast winds, but I want the takeoff. Do we have that? I'm thinking the easiest will otherwise be to maybe just get it from the 80s, so I'm gonna connect. I'm gonna validate the flight plan. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's cruise altitude out of legal for one or more airway segments starting at Suvox. Okay, can we do a shorter? It's but how low can we? I'm getting really tired of these setting up these. Yeah, okay, something is not. I'm gonna import the flight plan again. And let's wait with setting up anything. I'm gonna try to validate. Crew result is out of legal altitude range for one or more airway segment at Suvox. And can I edit the waypoint? Planned altitude. So if I increase this to 28, airway segments at, okay, that might be the issue. Let me see if I can. It's this one acting up, unfortunately. We're gonna try to set this manually, because it's fine. Even if it's a bit strange. So it was Suvox, and so like that. How can this be off? I don't get it. Is it because Turux? Maybe it's these ones. That could be the issue, right? So it's basically replicating. Actually, let me see if I can fix this by doing it like this, so we know what approach we have. It's this one, right? At Rutec. So we can load that one. Let me see, maybe we can remove Turux and PSAP. Hopefully that should help. Then we can load that approach, which we can also activate. I'm now just trying to get this to validate. So, okay, Suvox is still not playing ball with us. Potentially if we delete Suvox itself, maybe we'll finally get it to work. Now it worked, okay. So we should do OSN to Rotec directly. Let's see, can I file this plan already? And let's try to connect. It always takes a bit of time for this to load. Not the fastest system in the world. It could be that the altitude restrictions somehow limited it, but I can't say I'm certain how it's working. Let's make sure that the flight plan aligns with what we. So we won't have Suvox, we'll have OSN.
Castrop Airport
and then
information
Rotec.
Juliet. 1120 local winds are 036 at 14 knots. Visibility unrestricted. 2,400 few clouds. 3,700 overcast. Temperature 0.
Like
dew point
that.
-4. Current altimeter is 3027.
Okay.
Arriving and departing runway 04 left, 04 right.
So we still have to do the calculations, and
Castrop
now
Airport
let's listen what they're
information
saying.
Juliet. 1120 local winds are 036 at 14 knots. Visibility unrestricted. 2,400 few clouds. 3,700 overcast. Temperature 0. Dew point -4. Current altimeter is 3027. Arriving and departing runway 04 left, 04 right.
3027. Is it because it's American setup? I'm getting
Castrop
those.
Airport information Juliet. 1120 local winds are 036 at 14
Let's see what
knots.
they give in terms
Visibility
of QNH.
unrestricted. 2,400 few clouds. 3,700 overcast. Temperature 0. Dew point -4. Current altimeter is 3027. Arriving and departing runway 04 left, 04 right.
So one.
Castrop Airport
Let me
information
change
Juliet.
the comm so we don't have to listen to that. But it's 1025.1. And we can change that already. We'll go to the right one, and we have, so they are aligned, so we don't have to change multiple, just to save us some time. We can have air condition on, anti-ice off. Our takeoff gross weight is 14600, and our CG, I think the way to see it is by looking at payload, 25.1, 25.1, and let's calculate. Okay, and we're getting the info, perfect. Flight directors can go on. We should probably put on one of those so that we can start the APU. I'll put on these. Just press that to get that lovely sound. We know what we are landing at, 32,000, or sorry, flying at 32,000. We are landing at an airport with a relatively low height, 50. Okay, good. Anything else? Oh, now I know why we can't see anything because it's dark. My God. Okay, so the way to do this is, of course, by putting on the night lighting. Night lighting. Okay, let's see. So that's one of those. Yeah, we can hide that one. We don't need to see it. Main panel brightness. Main panel brightness, and it actually brightens up my hardware FMC, which is really cool, of course. I can put this speed, and then I think that's good enough. Let's go back to setting up the actual takeoff. We can do the limit. What was the select? 44. So we put that as temp. We're doing a bit of gyrated one. Takeoff flaps 5. CG 136. 139 and 144, right? 139, 144. And we could put, but I guess these would just calculate the same, right? Or is this a real? I guess it could be real. I've never actually checked that up. I always seem to do the double. We only have to put in the runway wind. And now we got basically the same. The only difference was the V2 speed. Okay. Okay, I guess we can have the QRH select off. So then we get to put those in ourselves. Good. Anything else? No, we are waiting for the APU, which is why is it off though? That's odd. God damn APU. Is the APU malfunctioning? Is that the issue we are having? Let me go settings. That's PMDG setup, right? Simulation, no. Performance, no. Aircraft, right? Hey, we have an active failure. Wait, hydraulics? What's that? Service-based failure. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, it was only a refill. Let's clear that. Let me see. PMDG 737. Hmm. The bus transfer switch is in auto. This is the first time I had this issue. Let me see if I can redo this. Maybe I was pressing the wrong. If it doesn't work, we'll just do another, or do without the APU. It should still work. Fortunately. Let's try to maybe get the IFR clearance though. I don't know what the ground clearance is here. It might be good to set that in. Walker 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Walker 4003
Oh no, we got another
clearance on 119.9er for IFR clearance.
Walker 4003 clearance delivery on 119.9er.
Is it even possible to shut the APU or?
Runner 23 Uniform Lima, request taxi.
Runner 23 Uniform Lima, turn left towards link 4, hold short of link 4 and contact ground on 121 decimation, right?
Left link
Can we
4,
get this to?
short of link 4 and 121 decimation, today runner 23 Uniform Lima.
Odd, very odd. Never seen the APU. Usually this plane works so well. This is really frustrating.
Good morning, if you had 23 November.
Yes, yeah, 23 November.
23 November, we just received our PDC.
Let me see if there's some options in the FS action that.
23 November, roger. Airborne frequency
No,
575 and confirm the first waypoint.
nothing that I can see.
575, airborne and Oscar Echoes at first waypoint.
Let me undock the jetway.
23 November and monitor ground 121 decimal 8 for push.
I'll prepare for pushback and departure. Walker 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance. And
Walker
let's see if we can get
4003 is
that.
cleared to Echo Hotel, flight next to Alpha departure, then is 5. Expect departure runway 0 for right. Flying to flight level 060 via the departure, expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Cast drop departure on 120.25.
Fuel.
Squawk 5662.
Walker 4003 is cleared to Echo Hotel, fly the next E2 Alpha
Ah, that was
departure,
only
then
because
is
of that.
filed. Climb to flight level 060 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Castrop departure on 120.25. Squawk 5662.
06.
Walker 4003 read back correct QNH is 10 to 5 contact Castrop apron ground on
5, 6.
121.9er when ready for pushback. Enjoy your morning.
62.
QNH is 1025 ground on 121.9er Walker 4003.
5, 6, 6, 2. Okay, we have that. I'm gonna put this to TARA already. In terms of trim, what did it say in that regard? Ah no, we lost this. But I am gonna assume it wasn't 4.88, right? We can do that. But yeah, damn it. Okay, no APU. Can we maybe get an air starter here, right? I think that's the only thing we would need. We can do nose left. Remove wheel chocks. Yeah, we'll wait. I need that jet starter. Let's see if we can get this engine running. It's gonna be peeping for a while. Walker 4003, ready for pushback.
Walker 4003 pushback approved.
Now let me check the Luke air
Pushback
tool as
approved, Walker
well.
4003.
Maybe we can actually wait till we have the actual pushback. Waiting for your actions, remove air. Yeah, we'll... Let me just see if I can get the engine started already. Okay. So we need one of the engines running. Hopefully we can get the generator on that one functioning. So let's see. It's really becoming light outside. This has been a very slow pre-flight just because of all these small issues, right? Do we have any like dome lights on or similar? Don't think so. Okay, so we have that engine. Good, we got that generator started. And I think with the use of that we should be able to start the left engine. So what I'll do is I'll release the ground power.
Releasing pushing brakes. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Well, we get that air unit away. Come on. God damn, if that one gets stuck now because it started moving. I hate this bugginess sometimes that you get with this with these planes. We'll start the left engine, see if we can get that going. It's the problem that I let me see. Okay, we can shut that one. Okay, it managed to. Yeah, parking brake set. No, we don't want to interrupt it. Let me check now, because we did the pushback already. So, if I now want to force the pushback from... or force and force. Okay, we can't do any further pushback, so Do we do closed doors? Because don't we need some... Maybe if we have it on high, right? Could that work? Because you should be able to start it, right? With one engine and without the APU. Let me see, PMDG B737 start or one engine without. I want to know how to do the cross bleed. How do you do the cross bleed start? I put that to off. Let me quickly pause. I'm just gonna have a look at this video so I can do this. Okay, I think I have it. I'm gonna unpause. Luckily it makes sense. So, first things off, it's related to the duct pressure, right? So a bit similar if you watch my DC8 videos. So we want to close the packs. We can keep these on, the bleeds. That's fine. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. I guess we're gonna keep it on auto. But the thing that we should do is add a bit of thrust, so we get the duct pressure over 30, and that should be sufficient to start the number 1 engine. So yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. A very good, well-made plane, apart from a little bug that we have had to endure. So that's a cross-bleed start, right? Same logic as with the DC8, right? So very nice, actually. You see, you learn these odd things when you are
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
we can confirm good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
And we'll do the safety announcement.
Welcome on board this Walker Air Transport flight. Will you please ask your attention as we demonstrate the safety features on this aircraft. Please make sure your bags are either in the overhead compartment or under the seat. Make sure to switch your phone or any other electronic devices to airplane mode. It's important to fasten your seatbelt.
Good, let's check.
In case we pass through unexpected
Only some pauses, so we should be fine.
During taxi,
We got pushback clearance.
fasten your seatbelt and make sure your seat is in the upright position. In case of a depressurization, oxygen masks will fall from above.
Let's ask for taxi clearance.
Before helping children and others.
Tow truck
And the APU seems to now be off, so that's good.
Middle and back of this
Left is
aircraft.
clear, right is clear.
We can stop giving unnecessary.
Please make sure your phone is switched to airplane mode.
Those can be on auto. But yeah, we don't need to give any unnecessary thrust, so I pulled back on the thrust. And the thrust was key to getting the duct pressure up enough.
Thank you for
The
flying.
yaw dampener, we can put that on.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Taxi and turn off lights. So yeah, pretty nice, if I may say so. There we go, we don't need that one to be all lit up. o'clock. Anything else we need to do? Taxi clearance, right? Walker 4003, ready to taxi. Let's wait a bit. They're a bit slower sometimes to respond.
Walker 4003 runway 04 right. Taxi via Papa, Foxtrot, Charlie, Foxtrot,
Good.
Charlie,
Let's have a look on the
Echo 1,
outside.
Bravo,
The airplane's doing
Bravo
good.
1.
The only thing I don't like is kind of the change from, you know, having the lights working, it's dark, and then suddenly it's not. But I guess it's hard to implement that. So yeah, early morning flight. Let's put this to the legs page. We don't need to be on the settings ones anymore. We should at least have a functioning aircraft. That one can be armed. LNAV can be set to on. We have altitude set. Flight directors are both on. Let me check that we make sure we have this one as the first one. As the priority one. Yeah, fuel set. That one is set. TFC and VXR. We can put terrain on this one. Also press TFC. And we can we should have checked these manuals, right? We have all these nice maybe there would be some good. We can do the airport map just to show. So we can be on the clear with how we should taxi. I think I know how we should, but let's see. I'll release the parking brake. And let me start giving some thrust to get us moving. Flaps 5, right? 5 is what we want. Projected takeoff set. Nothing with spoilers, trim set. We'll need to still set the lights. Flaps in transit. Yeah, I gave too much thrust. Way too much. Anything we need to close? No. And the way this one taxis is very nice. This is a very good aircraft. Really sucks that PMDG stopped for developing for P3 and even stopped selling their products. That I thought was really extreme. Okay, let's see. We're still on the right path. Are we getting any sort of... We should get an approval to move across, but let's see.
Walker 4003 cross runway 12.
Yeah, cross runway 12.
Walker 4003.
Let's put on those. Yeah, it's becoming early morning. There we go. We should have sufficient lights now. And we should make a very sharp turn. Now I didn't do the de-icing, but if I wanted to I would go out there basically. Might be somewhere else also a de-icing pad. But I can't say for sure. One thing to also maybe double check, which I would recommend when you're flying this nice bird, is always check that you have this immersion up and about if you do have that, so that there's nothing off. In terms of the airport we're going to, Eindhoven, that's a freeware one from NL 2000, which is pretty good. At least I have no complaints in that regard. This we don't need. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up some of the browsers I have open. Browsers do take some processing power, right? So Good to be on the clear with those. We should turn to the right. And this is actually the runway we also took off from when I flew, or was flown back to Stockholm. So let's see. Well, we wouldn't have the landing lights off now. It would be cool if we had the pulse one. I'm not gonna change the settings now. Let's just hope this all works. But yeah, you do some of the more modern ones, I guess, have the pulse one, the pulse light. Might have lost a bit more fuel than anticipated. Can we deny flight deck access? We can. Let's just check nothing is open or similar. Doesn't look like it. I'm really hoping to be flying the Max a bit more in the future, just because I think they're coming with an update for the P3D iFly one, so that the FMC will work for that. Seeing some orange lights here. I need to check that before we get too happy with this flight. Left forward over wing. I'm not sure what those annunciators are. Complaining, is that anti-ice? I don't think so. But I guess we'll know if we run into any troubles on takeoff. Let's see, we have arm. Can we arm the LNAV? We can arm the LNAV. In terms of the heading, we should try to set this one in line with the runway.
Walker 4003 contact Castrup Tower on
And here we could of course set the right, to remember our call sign, right? Even though it can have 4 numbers. Walker 4003, ready for takeoff.
Walker 4003 winds are 036.
The sky looks pretty good, so that's
Runway
nice.
04 right cleared for takeoff, squawk 5662.
Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04 right cleared for takeoff, squawking 5662.
Let's see if we can get this somewhat aligned. Let's add a bit of thrust. It always surprises me how fast they do taxi actually in real life. Sometimes I mean, like, damn, how can they do that? It feels like it's super fast, but yeah, of course, if you're doing that for a living, you probably will get pretty good at it. Okay. Yeah, that one works. Good. Then we're bueno. I'm gonna start. So it was a bit of a what would you call it? Rolling takeoff, I guess, but yeah, kind of slow. So let's see, everything's set. Airspeed is live. 100 knots. Rotate. And we have liftoff. Relatively nicely settling in. I'll trim a bit up. Just tad bit. Saying goodbye to Copenhagen. It's a long time since I did an early departure with this kind of weather. Okay, and we are squawking. Let's put on the VNav. We can go to flap 0. Now with the VNav, should have pretty good guidance in terms of how we should be flying.
Walker 4003 climb and maintain flight level 120, contact Castrop departure on 124.907.
120.
Climb and maintain flight level 120 departure on 124.907 Walker 4003.
Looking very good, let me say. We can climb a bit
Departure
further.
Walker 4003 climbing to flight level 120.
Walker 4003, good morning.
The weather looks really nice. The 2D clouds work really well with this kind of mornings and evenings. I guess the dawn and the dusk. Okay, wants us to gather some speed now before climbing again. I did forget to warn them about landing, so that was a bit, or prepare for takeoff. So a bit of a mistake on my end in terms of the Luke Air tool.
Control on 119.42 Walker 4003.
Okay, let's see.
Control Walker 4003 climbing to flight level 120.
Walker 4003, good morning.
Wait, oh, sorry about that, guys.
Walker 4003.
I was zoning out. I thought there was something on my screen that was broken, but it was just a hallucination. Let's see. Okay, so we need to climb and also try to maintain the speed.
Walker 4003, contact Malmo control on 118.0.
Control on 118.0 Walker 4003.
And now we're climbing too fast.
Control Walker 4003 climbing to flight level 120.
Walker 4003, good morning.
Okay, still climbing. It's very fun to hand fly this aircraft. Oh, look at those cirrus clouds. Look very nice. Okay, we're gonna be above 10,000 feet. These should have gone off already. At least the runway turn of light.
Maintain flight level 180 Walker 4003.
Oh, now we're climbing 180. Let me just get this stabilized. And I'm gonna activate the autopilot. Put on the VNav and put us up to the altitude we're gonna be getting these climb clearances as we go now. Perfect. Anything else to set? We don't need to have any sort of auto brake. That's about it. We don't really need to see the airport anymore. Let's check as we continue to climb here how it will look. We're climbing relatively slowly. Seems to have lost quite a bit of speed with my intense climbing at one point there. We're about 400 nautical miles. It'll be a bit of a flight, this one. It looks pretty good. Let's see how it looks once we get a bit higher above the cloud tops. We're soon reaching our speed. It wants us to fly relatively quickly, so I guess we'll be climbing a bit slower. At least until we reach the speed and we can start climbing a bit more. But I mean, it does look really good. Like when you look at the Cirrus, this 2D, this is really where 2D shines. It's really good. There we can see what I guess or assume is some sort of storm clouds. But let's see, can we see anything on our weather radar? Nothing thus far. And those do look a bit menacing. There we even have the moon.
Walker 4003
Looks
climb
huge,
and
right?
maintain flight level 240.
I guess that's only a 2D picture of the moon, right? I don't think the actual moon is there. Which is good to be aware of. But yeah, we got another climb clearance. I'm gonna go and take a bit of a break since this flight will be not long, but I still think we have. Let me check how long we have. Well, almost 200 and about 250 nautical miles still our total descent. So I'm gonna put this. Well, let me see if I have a better viewpoint. I did have some nice ones. Nah, okay, this one will be the best. I'll leave it at this, and I'll be back before you know it.
Walker 4003 climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320 Walker 4003.
Okay, so Captain is back. Looks like the menacing clouds were not that menacing. Let's see the situation on the flight deck. We are still climbing, but soon at our top of climb. And we have about 106 nautical miles to go. With a relatively low cruise setting, which I am gonna change. I guess it might be more economical, but we do have some tailwind, so might as well utilize it. So we have fuel for it though. But yeah, in terms of the jet time 737s that I saw, this is how they look like. So quite similar to the Walker Air style of livery, right? Just the Walker Air one goes a bit further. But one thing I was wondering is, where are they getting these from? Like, they bought new ones, or is this old SAS ones? But yeah, I'm not sure. Need to investigate. Bless myself. I wonder, there must be a list somewhere, right, of all the SAS like the old ones. They have a few that they stored and scrapped. But those were the 500 model and the 400. Of course, very sad to see some beautiful planes. With some very interesting logos. Must be the 500, right? But yeah, very beautiful plane. They really changed their fleet a lot. Going from McDonnell Douglas to Boeing to Airbus.
Center on 119.82 Walker 4003.
Let's have a look at the outside quickly. It does seem like we are flying
Center Walker 4003 level and flight
relatively
level
well.
320.
Walker 4003, good morning.
We are flying very quick. Let's see what the ETA is now. Still quite a long way to go. We're just coming in over in northern Germany, and we are still supposed to fly to the Netherlands. Here we have some more info. These are the 600s, which basically all seem to have been scrapped. Do you know if anyone hasn't been scrapped? Active. check like their history with some of these. Switch to operator list. So Boeing, let me see, Boeing 737-800 production list, plane spotters. Maybe that one will give us the info we're looking for. Oh my god, there's a lot of pages. And we can't really. You need an account to see. Damn it. So if you wanna search further, you need an account. Or maybe we can. Try to search. Nah, it doesn't seem to work. Can't really fool the list. But oh well, oh well. Let me see if we have the. I really like this one. I don't think you have this in the Airbuses, right? It's a very good tool to have at one's disposal. It's getting lighter outside, so I think we can shut our lights. That was pretty effective. Why can't I close that one as effectively? But oh well, not the end of the world. So closing the panel brightness. Seatbelt sign can go off. It says we're still in the pre-flight stage. I really need to find a way to get this one to. Oh wait, maybe it's. No, it's not that. That doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, I need to really figure this one out. Oh, here we even have the sounds, right? We can tweak those. That's nice. We get a tiny bit more of that ambient sound. Cabin crew turned off. Yeah, how do I get the status? Let me check. Lyric air tool stuck on pre-flight. There's some step I am missing. I'm doing all the boarding ones, the takeoff. Okay, we can say we received clearance to taxi, but that doesn't seem to impact. Yeah, pushback assist disabled, that's fine, we don't need that. It's a very odd, this Luke Air tool. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I just can't. So main app, auto seat belt. Yeah, very odd. Progress maybe? No, this is the progress for the general one. I think I've been doing this before. You can close the settings, at least for now. Still looking pretty good. You can see a bit of the wing flex. Let me see if I can find a better
Walker
viewpoint.
4003, contact Bremen Center on 125.1.
Yeah, here we can
Center on
see
125.1
it
Walker 4003.
flexing. Have I have a better viewpoint? I guess not.
Center Walker 4003 level at flight level 320.
Walker 4003, good morning.
Oh yeah, and I still need to remove that one ATC voice, the little child one. Let me see, Sappy, voices, Microsoft, right? I just, I guess, need to go through these and look at which one I don't want. But I still don't get this pre-boarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, soon our crew will be passing with duty-free items to buy. If you're interested, ask.
That was me pressing that one, sorry. Just trying to figure out. Okay, that was just the seatbelt ding that I also played through. The Luke Air tool. Okay, we're almost at 80 nautical miles. We can, I guess, prepare for our landing. We're gonna do it the sloppy way, just like this. It should be fine. I hope, at least. But let's see. Let's check, actually. I was thinking this as my thumbnail. Should work fine. Usually when I do my thumbnails, I do them in Paint. So that's a pretty smooth tool to do it. You can do it relatively easy. Then you of course need the right stuff, right, from pictures wise. Let me see though. So I have some good ones. So if I want the P3D logo, I would copy that one, for example, and then put that into Paint. Then different airlines ones, for example, Walker Air. So you have, it's quite straightforward to do a thumbnail. but it's also not as easy as I had hoped maybe when I started doing YouTube videos, or maybe it's actually easier. But yeah, it's I guess it depends also on the effort you want to put in, right? I usually like to at least put in a bit of effort to make it look nice. But you can of course get away with a much smaller effort. For example, if you just want to throw something quick together, this is how it could look. Not really like how this one aligns with the body of the airplane, but I guess that's a good example though. Let me see. What else do we need to check?
Walker 4003, expect the Route 3 Echo arrival with the Rotec transition for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 03 with the EHEH transition at Eindhoven Airport.
Expect the Road 3 Echo arrival with the Rotec transition for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 03 with the EHEH transition Walker 4003.
And then usually I would just use sniping tool to take a pictures from paint.net, or actually I think you can skip that. Let me see, you can just save I think directly from paint.net. Let me see how it looks. I think I saved it now as a JPEG or PNG, so like that, and then you would have your thumbnail. Then I would usually put it into a thumbnail size converter. You can find those online. And usually that works pretty well. Just so you get the right size, like that. Voila. And this is how it looks in paint.net. I thought I would show you that so that you have we can wait I think with the paint.net updates just in case something happens, right? There's always a risk in updating stuff once you're flying. Not really sure what those areas are. Looks like there's some variety here. I mean, I think this is the Orbex Germany, so maybe that's why there's some snow someplace and a bit green elsewhere. Let me actually close that, and let's see here. This one says after O's, which this one as well says, but that one is a bit, or this one seems to be a bit sooner than the one at Pilot to ADC. In terms of the, let me open, damn it, I'm opening the wrong thing. This is what we wanted. No info, so that's a bit sucky. Could be worse though. How does it look otherwise? Fuel wise, we are at 7.7. What was the expectation at ONS? or OSN, I think. The expectation was to have a zero fuel of 8.1, so we have definitely burned on more, so we're not really flying fuel efficiently, to be frank. But we are flying faster, which should hopefully help shorten this video a bit after the long pre-flight. I'm trying to figure out the whole APU thing. Let's see, we'll soon start our descent. Right, do they have any other utilities here? Scratch pads. Some good conversion tools. Timer, stopwatch. Countdown, count up, alert on completion. So some pretty good tools. Almost makes me want to have my own EFB. Even though I have a screen that's touch, it would be nice to have like a separate EFB, right? Where you could put some things, because I rarely use my touch screen. Say touch screen. But I was thinking of that for a while, like wouldn't that be cool to have like multiple touch screens that you could, you know, set like the 2D panels? Then you would have like one main screen for the actual outside view. Could that work nicely? Maybe? Yeah. Can't say I know for sure, but I would think so. Look at those planes. A320 or 21. And that also looks like an A320-21. Both were British Airways, right? So that's always pretty cool to see when they fly above you in such a close proximity.
Walker 4003 descend via the Route 3 Echo arrival with the Rotec transition to cross EHEH at or above 2,300 feet QNH is 1025 at Eindhoven Airport.
Descend via the Route 3 Echo arrival with the Rotec transition to cross EHEH at or above 2,300 feet QNH is 1025 Walker 4003.
Let me just check what they were saying. I got zoned out a bit. So descend via to cross at 2,300 feet. We can go back to VNAV. That should slow us down a bit, which we can see already is the case. We can set this one to 2,300 feet, and now it should be descending automatically. We can also, because I don't think it's automatic, right? Let me see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain intends on the fasten seatbelt sign as we will shortly be landing at our destination. Please now return to your seat to make sure that all your personal belongings are safely
Up with the fasten seatbelt sign on as well. And we'll start descending towards Eindhoven. Slow and steady. And I'll take another break, actually. I'll let this descend for a while and then I'll be back. I don't think there's too much to prepare anyway, I mean. Or actually, now that I think of it, we should probably set the barrow, right? So the minimums, which are 259 for C, which I'm just gonna assume this one is 259. Nothing too special anyway. I mean, in terms of doing the ILS though, we could also put that in. So 11975. Put that as the active one together with the approach of 033, so a course of 033. One thing I didn't check though, apart from checking what of course the altimeter is, which is 125, which is good, because that's the same, is the overcast. So it's at 1000. But that should be fine, that's within what I was kind of expecting, so no big deal. In terms of the leg page, we do have, let me see if I can check. Yeah, we don't have any discontinuities. We're going down to 2300, which is basically, yeah, 3000 above. So that's good. We have VNav, LNav, VNav path. Guessing the arm is for the altitude, since we're not at the altitude. But yeah. Let's see. Does this clock... Oh yeah, it resets that one. Interesting. But yeah, good. I'll leave it at this and I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, let's see. What's our situation now? We are at below 18,000. I think I heard the Russ saying something about the altimeter setting. But just faintly. Drag required. I guess in order to judge that we would look at the progression page. Or maybe, let's see. We're a bit behind, that's for sure. We'll have to make the best out of it. What do we have in terms of what keep it on standard for now? Anything else? We have a bit of clouds or an overcast, it seems. So that's gonna be a bit not fun. But yeah, look at this beauty. It's a very beautiful aircraft. I'm 100% sure it's that Ross that's repeating its altimeter setting. I am... Oh, sorry, repeating altimeter. I'm gonna remove the repeating altimeter just because that one is frustrating as hell. Let's see if we hear it again. Okay, we're above Rotec. We are at 6.8. At Rotec we should be at 7.3, so we're still a bit off, but not by as much as we could be. But I will start adding some speed brake. Let's have a look, see how it looks when we add a bit of speed brake. You can hear on the sounds that they're changing a bit, even on the outside view. Let's see how crazy they can go. Okay, they can go really high. We maybe don't need them, we can keep them in the flight detent. We're soon at 10,000 feet. I'll just prepare for that, I'll do the landing lights. I am also gonna be a bit early on the ball and ask for the landing. Prepare for landing. Okay. Looking pretty good, soon at 10,000 feet. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what one of these man once said. So it's like 20 nautical miles to the airport. With that, that's another 15 nautical miles, give or take. Or I guess we can see from here 17, that's 12. Yeah, it's definitely 15 plus. 15 plus for this little hook here, or whatever you want to call it. Needle head, maybe? Is that what you call the needle, the top of the needle? Oh well, let's see. Okay, the auto throttle is working. We are descending. We're below 10,000. We're going really slow. For better or worse.
Walker 4003 contact Rapkin South approach on 123.17.
Approach on 123.17 Walker 4003. Approach Walker 4003 descending via the Road 3E arrival with the Rotec transition to 2,300 feet.
Walker 4003, good morning. Continue descent via the Road 3 Echo arrival with the Rotec transition.
Continue descent via the Road 3 Echo arrival with the Rotec transition Walker 4003.
Okay. Continue arrival, that's good. We're up at 2000 SR. I think that's the lowest we can go. Oh, look at that. How do you even open that? That's stupid. I have no clue that that was even possible, but okay. Cool.
Walker 4003, you are 8 nautical miles northeast of the airport. QNH is 1025 cleared for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 03 with the EHEH transition at Eindhoven Airport.
QNH is 1025 cleared for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 03 with the EHEH transition at Eindhoven Airport, Walker 4003.
And I guess we're being continuously handed over and cleared now for the approach, so that's good. I'm also gonna set the barrow to the right, and we can stop using the speed brakes. I think should be fine now. I hope, at least. Let's see. It might ask for drag, so let's pay attention to that. Descent back. Okay, we can't really add the flaps because of the V-nav, but we could do it. Let's add a bit of flaps actually, and then we'll do not level change but the vertical one. Let's do 1300. We'll do flaps 5. We can arm the speed brake with auto brake to 2. Now we can go have this at 210, should be fine. It'll be a bit hard to get this descent to work out, but let's stay positive. Hopefully we can do this. And we're now slowly descending into the clouds. So it will be just us and our instruments. We'll put on this runway and taxi lights. Anything else? Looks pretty good. And now it looks a bit better in terms of the descent. Okay, we are actually descending quick enough. Oh, we can keep 1210. It's after Rusal, we can go down to like 195. Okay, it should come up to our left, but we can't see anything due to the due to there being no visual conditions. There should be a 2400, but it's a pretty slow descent after that, so we should be fine by any, well, or at least by most means of calculating it. Yeah. A bit of lag or input lag, guessing it's loading in some buildings and stuff, so this NL2000 are a bit on the slower end of things. These are on auto, 2500. We can start to see some of the terrain here on the other one. I'm gonna zoom in that one. Looks very good flying in the clouds. I'm wondering, is this the volumetric fog or is this the 2D clouds? I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, we need to slow it down. I was thinking 195, but I'm thinking 173 might actually be the best. Because based on what I can see, it's a pretty tight turn. So we're now at 195, 193, 190, 189, 187. We can't see anything off the ground. And I'm gonna put the approach mode on very shortly. I just want to see us start turning and kind of aligning. Now we are turning, so that's good. Very good. And I guess we don't have tower handover just yet. And I armed the approach mode, seemingly just in time. And let's see, I'm gonna do auto throttles. I do like to start controlling those myself a bit earlier. I'm gonna drop the gear, go flaps 10, go flaps 15.
Walker 4003
and
QNH
throttle
is
down a bit more.
At Eindhoven Airport, contact Eindhoven Tower on
Flaps 30. Let's see if it's enough.
EKCH is 1025 tower on 131.0 Walker 4003.
Let's go flaps full.
Tower Walker 4003 inbound for ILS approach runway 03.
And we are continuing to descend in accordance with
Walker
ILS.
400,
Very low minimum,
continue ILS
259.
to runway 03 call when established on final.
Continue ILS runway 03 will call when established on final Walker 4003.
Walker 4003 established on final.
Walker 4003 winds are light and variable. Cleared to land runway 03.
That voice is pretty good, even though it sounds a bit funny.
Walker 4003.
We'll keep this on 130. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna take manual control. Let's see, we're still descending. Maybe a bit quick. We have the runway in sight, so that's good. Or at least what I assume is the outline of the runway. We have gear down, full flaps. Everything else is set very nicely. Now we are a bit off the center line. Should get back in soon. There we go. 200. Continue.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Shamrock 59 kilo. Line up runway 28, beam echo 2, please.
Oh. A bit bouncy and not really on the center line as we should have been. We'll make do. Applying thrust reversers. No need to be too or stop too fast. We need to basically go down the full length of the runway to get to the passenger gates.
Ryanair 153, hold on Hotel 1 and prefer the taxi. Contact ground 121.
There we go. Let's see if we can get this APU working now on our second attempt. We do have a lot of air traffic, that's probably another airport. Low oil pressure. Okay, let's turn here. I think we gave a bit too much throttle. Well, let's see.
Walker 4003
Can't really see any other aircrafts here. So let's just park here at the first best one. So yeah, pretty good airport. Not the best, but I would say it's in the class of very good for being freeware. And do we now... okay, that's very annoying. The best way to do it... I think we're just gonna shut the plane down completely and come what may, so to speak. And I'm just gonna park here just to wrap this up because this was much longer. I just wanted to do a short flight, but I must have misjudged the length of the flight a bit. Thought it was closer, Denmark to the Netherlands, but oh well. I'm gonna also deplane. You're not at Eindhoven airport. Oh, where am I? Can't even. Oh, I guess maybe Paxim didn't know where I was. So that could have been one of the issues. Okay, let's shut that engine. I still don't seem like I can get the APU. So we'll just have to make do with a total shutdown. And we got the Walker Air cleared. Very good landing rate. Maybe too good. We want to have 150 exact. That's the butter standard. Let's do 260. And let's see. It's a very nice looking plane. I can get some really good shots from different angles. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if those effects are based on immersion manager or what it is. Looks a bit funny though. Like some mini engine. Okay, we were a bit off on the center line. The approach was fine, I think. Could have been a bit smoother, a bit more stable. But I've seen worse. Now the question is the landing. Was that any good, or so first off, yeah, I always crab too much when I crab. That's the big issue with crabbing. It doesn't feel like I'm crabbing too much, but then it is. So yeah, not the best landing, unfortunately. Not a bad one, but just not a good one. I would not have gotten away with that in the Mad Dog, for example. But I guess that one flies a bit differently. Yeah, I guess we're on some sort of emergency power now, since the APU refuses to connect. But oh well. Yeah, apart from the beeping that you can hear, pretty good end to the flight. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, until next time, bye bye.